Women are tougher than men, and that's for real. Men play football and rugby. They are usually bigger, cut down trees, and generally act all macho. In my observation, not one of them could go through childbirth a second time if they even went through that pain the first time. And yet some women do it with impunity. The modern woman breastfeeds her baby only a few weeks after the miracle birth and then walks into the boardroom, a sales meeting, appears before the cameras looking like $1,000,000, or into a classroom. Guys would still be laying in a hospital bed at that point. Erika Kirk, the widow of the slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk, vowed in a primetime address only 2 days after her husband was assassinated, quote, "The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love," she said. "They should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you have just unleashed across the entire country in this world." My wonderful audience, I know that I could not do what she did if my better half was taken from me, and especially not in the brutal attack that took Charlie from her and the world. I watched most of her address live and just marveled at this illustration of resilience at the highest level. Her prediction above was right, as there has been a surge in requests for new chapters across the country since Charlie's brutal and untimely death. The far left has continued on its self-destructive path of violence and supporting criminals, not society. About a week after Charlie's death, the Turning Point board unanimously made Erika the new CEO. Sadly, as rational people try to move past this tragedy, false information has been spread. The most egregious of this, perhaps, was that some claims from the left that Charlie was killed by a MAGA person, in other words, a Trump supporter. Tracking the sad history of the accused killer here, he is from a conservative family. Apparently, he was in that camp in the past. According to reports, his mother said that he had moved far left in the last year or two. The etchings on the rounds in the rifle and his other actions related to the assassination are consistent with that left position. While hard to form a direct connection, the report said he was involved in a relationship with his roommate, reportedly a male transitioning to a female, may have had an impact. A statement by Jimmy Kimmel that got his show suspended was along the lines of the less false narrative above. I note that the left wants to hammer the Trump administration FCC for Kimmel being suddenly suspended. However, my understanding is that it was about the money. Money caused Stephen Colbert to be canceled at the end of his current season, the network itself reporting losses in the tens of millions of dollars over at CBS. My understanding is that two major broadcast companies, Nexstar and Sinclair, each holding multiple ABC station licenses, announced that they would no longer air The Kimmel Show. That makes it about money, since fewer stations airing a network show means lower advertising revenues. I tried to find reports on whether The Kimmel Show was profitable or not. ABC has apparently not posted that. However, a source called Late Nighter reported that 3 live host late night shows on CBS, NBC, and ABC have lost 70 to 80% of their viewership. Other data indicated that Kimmel's show had dropped like a rock in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic, apparently a target for a lot of advertisers. Regarding the censorship, having been censored from time to time on social media myself, it is something I hate. I don't think the Disney company, which owns ABC Network, considers their move censorship. They still lean left as far as I can tell. Otherwise, they would not air that miserable show, The View. They tolerate various liberal hosts on weekend so-called news shows. So money is the driver, not necessarily politics. This is Dr. David D. Schein. Thanks for joining me for this special edition of Saving America. Remember, a new Saving America show is aired on the Brushwood Media Network every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Listen on any of the 16 network stations, Apple or Google mobile app, Apple CarPlay, TuneIn, Smart Speaker, and all smart TVs. Find more information at the brushwoodmedianetwork.com. Please be sure to join us each week. We welcome and love your feedback from our growing audience.